William J. is a former clerk to the late Justice Antonin Scalia and a partner at Goodwin Procter, a law firm in Washington, D.C. He joins us now from Washington. William, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
President Trump, in speaking with reporters on Wednesday, said that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell should, quote, go nuclear. Merrick Garland's nomination remained before the Senate for 293 days. Do you expect Neil Gorsuch to get through this confirmation process in a traditional manner?
I do. I think that Judge Gorsuch is a very talented judge and a very appealing and modest individual. I think he will do extremely well before the Senate Judiciary Committee, and I think you're already seeing some of the Democrats in the Senate realizing that this is a qualified and fair individual already talking about not using the filibuster. Although they might oppose him on the merits, I expect him to be confirmed in the traditional manner.
All right, we'll continue to watch that. You, meantime, argue cases at the Supreme Court. And I wonder, based on your experience, William, where ideologically, would Neil Gorsuch fit in among the other justices?
Well, I think his philosophy is likely to be similar to the late Justice Scalia's. Now, that doesn't necessarily translate into left or right in terms of politics or outcomes. Justice Scalia was a ferocious defender of criminal defendants' rights in a number of cases, and Judge Gorsuch has already shown himself as an appellate judge to be vigorous in enforcing the Constitution in criminal cases and other cases. So I think we can expect to see him apply an originalist philosophy and to follow the law where it leads him.
So let me ask you, President Trump will likely get another chance at appointing a justice, and there has been some talk that Justice Kennedy could step down, especially now that one of his former clerks, Neil Gorsuch, could have a seat on the bench. What kind of justice is Anthony Kennedy, and how critical is his vote?
Well, I do think that with Justice Kennedy in the middle and Judge Gorsuch confirmed to be on the court, Justice Kennedy's vote will be extremely important for as long as he chooses to remain on the court. He's been conservative on a number of issues, but on other issues, such as gay rights, he has written basically every one of the court's landmark pro-gay rights decisions. So he's going to continue to be a very important part of the court for as long as he remains on it.
And if he does step down, who could fill in the void left if he does decide to leave?
Well, I think that President Trump's appointment of Neil Gorsuch has to give confidence to anyone who's watching that he's able to conduct his process and come up with such a spectacularly well-qualified judge and future justice. I don't know that there's another person just like Neil Gorsuch out there on the courts of appeals, but President Trump has given a list of 21 individuals that he says he would pick from, and there are some other names on that list who would be excellent and well-qualified justices as well.
I'm curious, William, about your time at the High Court in the past year. Is there a difference in how you prepare a case for 8 justices?
There definitely is a difference in how a case is argued because Justice Scalia was such a vibrant and forceful presence at oral argument, and his questioning was always incisive, and it often brought questioning back to the text of whatever law was at issue. With 8 justices, if you are trying to win the case in the Supreme Court and get a lower court decision reversed, you do constantly have to fear the possibility of a 4-4 tie. And having the court back at 9 justices will mean that once again you're still striving for 5, but you won't be living in fear that the court will split evenly, and without explanation you'll lose on a tie vote.
Well, if Judge Gorsuch is in fact confirmed, how will you alter your approach? Will you prepare in a similar way that you once did for Justice Scalia?
Well, I think Judge Gorsuch, as an appellate judge, has been, like Justice Scalia, a lively and incisive questioner. I remember one case in which he asked a question at oral argument that was based on a hypothetical from the Terminator movies, and I think he definitely will be a real force to be reckoned with from the bench. But this is a court of very bright justices who ask very incisive questions. And as lawyers who appear before the court, we have to be prepared for anything.
All right, William J., former clerk for the late Justice Antonin Scalia, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.